How many more seasons can a Stanley Cup contender watch their championship dreams melt away between the pipes before someone finally pulls the trigger? That's the burning question haunting every Oilers fan tonight. And if insider David Pagnotta's latest intel is accurate, the answer might finally be no more. After years of watching Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard deliver mediocrity, when excellence is required, Edmonton's front office is reportedly preparing to go nuclear this offseason in their pursuit of legitimate goaltending. Let me be crystal clear about something right from the jump. This isn't just another rumor mill churning out hopeful speculation. This is a franchise that's been backed into a corner, watching Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl's prime years tick away while their goaltenders post save percentages that wouldn't cut it on most playoff teams. The patience has run out. The excuses have dried up. And according to Pagnotta, Stan Bowman is ready to push every single chip to the center of the table. The brutal reality, NO1 wants TO say out loud, let's talk about the elephant in the room that everyone in Edmonton has been tiptoeing around for far too long. When your goaltenders are consistently posting a goals against average north of 3 and save percentages dipping below .900, you don't have a rough patch, you have a fundamental flaw in your championship blueprint. Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard are professional hockey players who work incredibly hard at their craft. Nobody's questioning their dedication or character. But here's the uncomfortable truth that needs to be said. Dedication doesn't stop pucks when the talent gap is this significant. Heart doesn't make up for technical deficiencies when you're facing the league's elite shooters in high-pressure situations. Year after year, we've watched this team stumble out of the gate with sluggish starts that put them behind the 8 ball before Christmas even arrives. Year after year, the organization has politely declined to point fingers at the goaltending. And year after year, the same problems persist like a recurring nightmare that won't end. The coaching staff won't throw their goalies under the bus publicly. That's not how professional organizations operate. But behind closed doors, you can bet there have been some brutally honest conversations about what's holding this team back from achieving their ultimate goal. When you're operating in Stanley Cup or bust mode every single season, eventually you have to acknowledge that bust keeps happening for a reason. 17 million reasons TO believe change is coming here's where this story shifts from frustration to genuine intrigue. The Oilers are projected to have $17.885 million in salary cap space this summer, with virtually their entire core locked up and under contract. That's not just flexibility, that's a war chest specifically designed for exactly this kind of aggressive move. David Pagnotta didn't mince words when he dropped this bombshell. The answer I give is wait until the summer. I'm expecting the Oilers to be very, very aggressive in the offseason because they'll have roster and cap flexibility to do it. Read between those lines. Very, very aggressive isn't insider speak for maybe they'll kick some tires and see what's available. That's code for they're about to make a statement move that shakes up the entire goaltending market. When an insider with Pagnotta's connections uses that kind of emphatic language, you better believe there's substance behind it. The timing couldn't be more perfect from a financial standpoint. Skinner's contract situation, combined with other money coming off the books, creates a rare window where Edmonton can actually afford to swing for the fences without mortgaging their future or dismantling the core that's taken them to back-to-back deep playoff runs. The shopping list. Who's actually available? Now, we get to the fascinating part. Who exactly can the Oilers realistically target when they go on this reported spending spree? Because let's be honest, the free agent goaltending market is typically thinner than a Zamboni blade, and this summer won't be any different. That means Stan Bowman will need to work the phones and explore the trade market where the possibilities become significantly more intriguing. Let's break down the realistic candidates. Juuse Saros has been the name most frequently connected to Edmonton in recent weeks, and it's easy to understand why. The Nashville netminder has been carrying a rebuilding Predators team on his back for years, posting elite numbers despite facing a relentless barrage of shots. He's proven he's in his prime, and he's exactly the kind of difference maker that could transform Edmonton's championship odds overnight. But here's the catch: acquiring Saros won't be cheap. Nashville will demand a king's ransom in prospects and picks, and other contenders will be circling with competitive offers. Jordan Binnington presents a fascinating alternative. The St. Louis Blues goaltender has championship pedigree, having backstopped his team to a Stanley Cup in 2019. He's battle-tested in the playoffs. He's got that competitive fire that Edmonton desperately needs between the pipes, and he might be available if the Blues continue their rebuild trajectory. The question becomes whether Binnington can recapture that championship form consistently, or if Edmonton would be buying high on past glory. Tristan Jarry is another name floating around the rumor mill, though this one comes with significant question marks. The Pittsburgh netminder has shown flashes of brilliance, but also stretches of inconsistency that should give any general manager pause. Would Edmonton really solve their goaltending volatility by acquiring someone who's been equally volatile? That's a gamble that could backfire spectacularly. Then there's the nuclear option, Ilya Sorokin. If Edmonton truly wants to make a statement move that sends shockwaves through the league, they could assemble a godfather offer for the New York Islanders' elite netminder. Sorokin is arguably a top-5 goalie in the NHL when healthy, with the technical skill and mental fortitude to thrive under the immense pressure of backstopping a championship contender. But prying him away from Long Island would require Edmonton to gut their prospect pool and sacrifice multiple first-round picks. Is that a price Stan Bowman is willing to pay? The frustration of waiting when the window is now. Here's what makes this situation so maddening for everyone involved. The Oilers need this upgrade right now, not 6 months from now. Every game that passes with subpar goaltending is another opportunity lost, another potential playoff seeding position surrendered, another crack in the foundation of what should be a championship-caliber team. Connor McDavid isn't getting any younger. Leon Draisaitl's contract situation looms on the horizon. The core that's been built so carefully over the past several years has a finite window of opportunity, and that window doesn't stay open forever. Yet here we are, being told to wait until summer while watching the same problems manifest night after night. As Pagnotta correctly pointed out, the timing simply makes more sense for a summer blockbuster. The cap space will be there. The trade market will be more active. Other teams will be making their own roster decisions, potentially creating opportunities that don't exist right now. From a pure business and strategic standpoint, patience is the smart play. But try telling that to fans who've been waiting years for this front office to address the most glaring weakness on the roster. Try explaining patience to supporters who've watched elite offensive talent get wasted, because the last line of defense couldn't hold up under pressure. The frustration is real, it's justified, and it's reaching a boiling point. The stakes have never been higher, make no mistake about what's at stake here. This isn't just about upgrading a position, it's about salvaging a championship window that's threatening to slam shut. The Oilers have assembled one of the most talented forward groups in the entire league, backed by a defense core that's improved significantly over the past 2 seasons. They have everything you need to win a Stanley Cup except the one position that matters most when the games get tight and the pressure reaches its peak. Stan Bowman inherited this goaltending situation when he took over as general manager, but it's now his problem to solve. His legacy in Edmonton will be defined by whether he has the courage to make the bold move that's required, or whether he'll continue kicking the can down the road while precious time evaporates. The blueprint is sitting right there in front of him. $17.885 million in cap space, a desperate need for an upgrade, and a roster that's ready to compete for a championship right now. All that's missing is the conviction to pull the trigger on a deal that might cost significant assets, but could be the difference between hoisting the Stanley Cup and watching someone else celebrate. The summer of reckoning approaches if David Pagnotta's sources are accurate, and his track record suggests they usually are. Then this summer will represent a defining moment for the Edmonton Oilers franchise. The very, very aggressive pursuit of goaltending help isn't just about fixing a weakness. It's about making a statement that this organization is all in on winning now. The options are out there. The financial flexibility exists. The need couldn't be more obvious. Now, it's simply a matter of whether Stan Bowman and his front office have the intestinal fortitude to make the kind of splash move that championship teams make when they identify what's holding them back. For years, we've heard excuses about why the timing wasn't right, why the market wasn't favorable, why patience was required. Those excuses have expired. The time for action is rapidly approaching, and the entire hockey world will be watching to see if Edmonton finally addresses the goaltending crisis that's been sabotaging their championship aspirations. One thing is certain: if this summer comes and goes without a significant goaltending upgrade, the questions won't just be about the netminders anymore. They'll be about the decision-makers who had every opportunity to fix the problem and chose not to act. What do you think? Is Juuse Saros the answer, or should Edmonton swing for the fences and go after Ilya Sorokin? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button if you're as fired up about this potential offseason shakeup as we are.